Don't ever look back on the world closing in. Be on the attack with your wings on the wind. All the things will begin. And it's sweet.
Sweet victory, God damn it. We're giving you.
Damn it, this is America.
We're giving you exactly what the NFL refused to give you. A little bit of sweet victory.
All we got was boring victory. And it wasn't even from our team.
Never forget, the block is hot, gives you what you want.
We'll give you anything you want. All the way.
All right. That's enough of that sweet victory. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming back.
Yo.
You were here with us live on the Block is Hot podcast. The number one podcast out there, giving it to you how you lie, deep dogging and raw.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't have to make
Yeah,
sense.
we go deep raw dogging.
And you're here right now, and this is, I believe, what, episode 25 of the Block is Hot podcast.
No, this should be 26.
26? Really?
I fucking think so.
No way.
I'm pretty sure we're there.
Holy shit. Hey.
Check it.
I think we're actually...
I could very much be wrong.
Oh, yeah, 26. Episode 26.
Ooh.
All right. We made it to a quarter of a century.
What's good, bruh?
We made it to a quarter of a century.
Halfway through a year already with our shit.
And I am your host, Famous Amos, a.k.a. the Unidentified Black Male. And you can also call me your mother's last mistake, a.k.a. Soul Brother Number 5, a.k.a. the last one that took the last thing out of the last one. I'm going to try to roll with that one. And also, Pinky.
Hi, what's cracking, yo? I am It's Tim Red Hose, a.k.a. Tim the Oon, a.k.a. Plato Gastax, a.k.a. your mother's favorite brother, a.k.a. the nigga that steals all the cookies out the cookie jar.
Well, that was nice.
I wanted to add something else at the end, but I was like, I'll leave it.
I realize I only add the drops on your names, and I always forget to do it when I'm saying my own.
Yeah,
it just sounds better.
It's kind of hard to be like that, like dual-minded, not dual-minded. What is that called? Multitasking.
Definitely hard to multitask.
Multitasking, doing certain things. Like, have you ever? You've never played an instrument, have you?
I used to play guitar.
Yeah. Have you ever got to a point where like you knew a song well enough, but then you tried singing on top of that, and it almost seemed fucking impossible to do that shit?
The only song I really could play and that I used to be proud of was the King of the Hill theme song. Oh my gosh, I almost strained my throat right there on that one. And for those of you that are listening right now, I may be sounding a little bit more nasally, a little bit more harsh in the throat. I was deathly ill.
Nigga,
from
don't
Thursday.
Lie. You took a fat cock to the back of the neck, didn't
Nah,
you?
from Thursday.
This
Pause.
motherfucking stroking
Relax.
cocks with his tonsils, bro.
Relax.
Check your boy.
I don't know
Check your
what
boy.
happened.
Why do you think he wants to be the unidentified black male?
Relax. I have a girlfriend. I don't know about you. You may be hiding something in the closet though. Maybe a double-sided dildo.
The triple-sided trident.
But no. On a serious note, I was sick from Thursday through Monday. I'm just now feeling good Wednesday. That's why we didn't record on our normal Tuesday recording schedule. So thank you for being patient with us. Thank you for still rocking with us here live on the Block is Hot podcast. The number one podcast is going to bring you a little bit about the current events going on around the world, tying them into conspiracies, and also just having regular stony baloney conversations. You blockheads.
Yo, wait. Is that's the new Ford Edge? That's the new Edge, I should say?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that shit looks pretty nice.
It just looks like a bigger Ford ST. Ford Focus.
Yeah.
Just
because
bigger.
the Edges were those...
It's the cop car.
They're the giant... Oh.
They're the new cop vehicles you see now.
The other one... No, okay, I know what I'm thinking. I was thinking of the giant box ones. I think those are called Flex.
Flex. Those
Yeah,
are.
yeah. That's what I was about to say. Yo, if they went from that design to that new design, that's a pretty sexy.
Now, before we even get onto our topics, because we got a list of topics that we're going to be reaching out today, I will say this: that the Ford Flex is probably like one of the best family vehicles as far as like it's almost like a station wagon. The inside is like really comfortable. There's a lot of like charging ports and things. If you have like kids in the back for devices, I remember me and my dad, my uncle, and Austin, we went up to Oakland for an Oakland Raider game, and we were like, God damn, this is a nice ass car. We rented it just to go up there real quick and put miles on our vehicles. And yeah, so just, you know, that's for that.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, go for it. You're doing something right.
But you guys, yo, get the fuck out of here with the new Mustang.
Wait, what do you mean? I saw that they had a concept for a four-door that actually looked pretty nice.
No. Excuse me. Sorry about that. The weed got me. No, the Shelby GT500, fucking paddle shift. No manuals. Fucking stupid.
Gay?
This is fucking America. We deserve fucking manual transmissions.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I see a lot of cars doing that now. Fucking, but honestly, I think especially if you're getting a high-end car like that, you probably have the money. You should probably just, like, have it converted to a dog box. And not only that, did you hear about the Supra?
But think about it, though, Tim. To convert a car like that to a dog box, even if you have it, it's not even it's the money. Because, like, think about it. If you have the money to blow, and we're just saying right now, like, if... Let's just say
Probably
this.
not going to spend it on that.
No, yeah, that, and let's just say this. Even if you're like an actor or something, you know, where buying a car like that's like nothing to you, once you do that, all the warranty's done. It's like it's going to be a harder car to sell.
Definitely.
But what I think that these car manufacturers should be doing is, since we know that pedal shifting is faster, there's no hands down about it. If that's the case, they should offer a manual transmission at a way lower price, or even a more expensive price. Fuck it. Like, I would pay a little bit more for the manual than to have the pedal shifting. Yeah.
That's what Porsche does. Less is more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What I wanted to say about the Supra, though. Give me 1 second. Let me get my headphones back on. I fucking have to fix it.
So yeah, we're just jumping into the shits on this one. I didn't even break down the topic list, what we were going to be covering.
What's fucking me up about the Supra, though, is do you know how the Supra is shared? Excuse me. They share everything. The Toyota Supra is the BMW Z4.
Yes and no.
Now, see, the Supra is only automatic, but you know the Z4 comes in manual. The new Z4 comes in manual. So anybody that's thinking about buying a Supra and you want that manual Supra, instead of getting that, just get the BMW Z4. You're getting the exact same shit, except with the manual.
Now, this is where I will agree with you that yes, on a paper spec sheet, the cars, they say they share the same chassis, they share the same suspension, and they share the same engine, but it's independent on their tuning and how the cars are actually set up to drive. Because there's a law within Germany that actually makes it that each individual badged car has to be different. So that was also in the design. It's not like a partnership how they did it with Subaru and Toyota before. It's like they were both planning to design a separate car, but also sharing the same design. So that's why it's like, if you took all the bodies off and all the cosmetics and you just had it down to the frame chassis, yes, hands down, they're the same car. But that Supra and Toyota engineering tuning, that's where it's kind of one of those things where hopefully the cars are different, because I've heard, you know, car and drivers will say, like, not Car and Driver the magazine, but like they'll say that the cars will drive completely different, because like the BMW is more on the side of, let's say, grand touring, and the Supra is more on the sportier side. I
see what you're saying. Interesting. I haven't really looked into that kind of specs, but even with that, I think like once you get into the actual tuning and you start tuning it yourself, you're going to end up having to change all that computers anyway.
And also the transmission, it's not dual clutch. It has the fucking torque converter on it. So it's not a dual truck. Both of them. Both of the automatic versions that come, they come with the 8-speed or something with like a torque converter, so it's not dual clutch.
I got you. But what about
that's used in so many cars though. It's used in the new Challenger. It's used in the Aston Martin, Jaguar.
Corvettes,
it's used in everything basically.
Yeah, but what about the Z4 manual ones? Do you know about those? That's what I want. That's what I'm interested about because I think that shit's dope.
I didn't even know if it was gonna come in manual because
Z4.
And the thing is that what Super was also saying is that
the Super's not though.
They may not do it, and if it sells really well, then they might do it. They were saying, but right now it's the cost, and they're saying more people don't really want the manual as much
because they don't know how to do it. Fucking sucks. It's a dying thing. I think we talked about it before.
It's
you want to know something funny? In the new Forza Horizon 4, there's no Toyota didn't let any of their Toyota sports cars in the game because their best ones are from
the 90s.
So you'll find Lexuses and shit, but they don't want their shit in a video game where everybody gets to see Toyota's best racing cars are from the 90s. They don't make anything new. But I think Toyota's low key tripping because it's if that's apparently the case, that's realistically the case, why the fuck don't you guys do something about it?
Well, I was kind of on the side of if it's gonna be they don't want their car in the game, you're now having someone not fall in love with your car.
Exactly, because at least still bring credit and to your company name if you at least have something in there. Because the MR2 was fucking awesome. Nobody cares. The fucking Super was fucking awesome. Both versions, the fucking Mark II or the Mark III and the Mark IV. Yeah. Did I say that right?
Yeah. No, but it's not like that. I'm saying it more so as I don't know about you, but the first car game that I was introduced to, that I was playing by myself, not playing at someone else's house, was Project Gotham Racing for Xbox.
Oh, that's an old one.
Exactly. And then, but at the same time, the second game was Gran Turismo 3.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one. That was one of the big ones.
Crazy dumb amounts of cars, crazy catalog, and it allowed kids to have the opportunity to drive these cars and fall in love with them. And I feel like if you're taking your car out of the game and you're not licensing it, even if it's your old retro models or the new ones, you're now missing out on the opportunity to have a young kid fall in love with your car and dream of buying your car and being a future customer. Because think about it, we all would, if let's just say right now for an example, if the 240 model never died and they were still coming out with new 240s each year, it'd be okay, we've been driving 240s since, kids. We're going to buy a 240. Doesn't matter.
Definitely.
Or even if it's with trucks, I always loved a Silverado and knew I was going to get a Silverado. That was my truck. I remember playing in off-road rally games and I was just all right, for sure. I'm going to have that. And I think that all these car companies that kind of restrict or they wait to add their license to it, the game company's not making money really off of that in a sense. People are going to buy the game regardless, but you're losing out now on the money from not even having that in the game.
Yeah, you're putting no horse in the race. And I feel like that's pretty important. Oh shit, what is that? Ow, that hurt. Whatever. Yeah, but that's how you help build enthusiasts and just general product support. That's why Ferrari is one of the most influential companies ever.
They're influential, and also they're very selective on their brand and how it's used.
Yeah.
If Ferrari gives the stamp of approval on anything, it gets clout.
Yeah. Definitely.
Ferrari could design and probably build a bicycle, and it would be okay, that's a fucking great bicycle just because it has that Ferrari stamp of approval, and they don't cut corners.
Yeah. It's yo, I got a bike frame made from Ferrari. Fuck it. Or that's...
And Italian bikes already are dumb guap anyway. If I could get a Cinelli right now, I would be down, but I just don't want to spend $800 on a frame set.
It's nigga, what kind of bike you got? Nigga, I got a Ferrari.
Look at the Ferrari tires on this shit, bitch.
Oh, goddamn.
But I'd be with them Continental Gator skins.
I got Brembo bike brakes. They're nigga, did you just buy nothing but carburetors and throw it on your bicycle? It's yes.
Shut the fuck up.
Nigga, I'll fucking kill you. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know my secrets.
Oh, shit. Secrets. Speaking of secrets.
Ooh.
You know who's been holding a real big secret? Like,
I thought you were exposing secrets.
oh, I was that young nigga 21 Savage.
Oh, I did, Governor. Seems like you found out my secret, y'all.
So, for those of you that don't know or have been living under a rock, the rapper known as Young 21 Savage, hailing from young Atlanta, Georgia, was picked up on Super Bowl Sunday, you know, the American holiday that we all love and adore.
Yeah, get the fucking Brits out of here on our day.
And he was picked up by ICE, and he's being detained. You know, right now, 23-hour lockup, 1 hour out, and the world is in an uproar. How do you feel about that, Tim?
I mean, I honestly, I understand it. Like, yeah, whatever. Like, it's for me, really look at it. It's really easy for me to go like, yeah, fuck that. Like, not fuck that nigga. I don't like completely hate what he does, or I don't feel like what he did is like, it's illegal, you know, and especially with like the problem we have with like our immigration laws and deportation statuses and all that shit today. I definitely understand it, and I know that's the right choice. But you know, like a lot of people I feel like are kind of like outraged over it. But like, you have to remember this is a successful immigrant. Like, he has money. Nothing's bad is going to happen. Like, everyone's like, oh, you gotta think about his fucking kid. But it's like, yo, this nigga has money. He can bring his kid with him to fucking. He made it. He doesn't need to be out. Honestly, he doesn't need to be out here anymore. He can do exactly what he's doing from Europe if he wants.
That is true.
I don't think it really affects him. That's why I feel like all the uproar about it is like just kind of like, yo, stop. We gotta stop trying to defend people that are knowingly breaking the law. When it's like, yo, yeah, that's what happens when you get caught breaking the law. I'm by no means advocating like obey the law. Like, fuck it, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you do. But.
I got a few type of I have a few thoughts on it that are kind of all in one, but from three different lanes. Like, one is it's the parents' fault. Because again, if he was brought here as a young kid, there's nothing wrong. Like, that's his parents that brought him over here on a visa that expired. Now, at that time, that's the parents' job to try to get that. If they're on a work visa with their family, whatever the situation may be. I'm not an immigrations worker, like caseworker, so I don't know the intricacies of it. But that's something that should have been taken care of. The second one is he got arrested previously and caught a felony. At that time, if he didn't already know, he was probably worried about that process. It probably got overlooked because he was still a minor and they didn't think about it because he was in school. Now, during that time, he should have been trying, like, his parents, again, should have been looking at citizenship knowing that you're not a citizen. Like, you didn't wonder why no one voted or anything like that. Like, or there's certain things, you know, that are kind of have to come into case. And then another one is, people are looking at it like, oh, 21 this, 21 that. Like, we love him. He's doing so good. He has 3 kids now. Imagine, listen to his lyrics and his music, because that's what the probably immigration people are thinking. He's talked about robbing, killing niggas, and doing all this hood rat, dirty, grimy shit while being a fucking undocumented fucking nigga in this country. Like, I get it. Like, and I'm not shitting on him. I'm pointing out everything. I got to play devil's advocate here.
This is why you get caught up.
Exactly.
For doing shit like that.
But think about it. It's like, how can you be like, oh, he's one of the good ones. He's the one of the people that we wanted to have. I was like, wait a minute. This nigga talked about selling drugs, hitting licks, killing niggas. He has no heart. He's down to run up in a nigga's spot. Like, this is not the people that we want coming over here illegally.
That definitely fits into why we don't want people coming over here
exactly. And that's why, like, I found it so funny how people are so quick to defend dude. Like, oh my God, fucking 21. And it's like, bro, if you listen to his music, this nigga's a fucking, like, a savage that you wouldn't want coming over here. Like, think about all the people actually applying for visas and shit. They're trying to come over here and work, do crazy shit, not come over here and gangbang. Like, so I find that funny. But again, he was a kid that grew up here living that life, probably thinking in his mind until he got locked up that he's like a citizen. But again, there's people all the time. I remember people
know that shit. He came over here at 16.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Or
you're right.
15, I think.
I already came in at 7 or some shit.
Oh, I thought it was a lot older.
But again, I remember kids that came in when I was like in 3rd grade from like the Middle East and Kuwait, and they're like, yeah, we're not citizens. We're working on our citizenship. I was like, and it blew my mind because like, how are you not a citizen?
They knew they were kids and they knew what's up. You know what's up.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
how old is he now? Like 21, maybe older.
I think it's like what, 22 or some shit. 23.
Yeah, he knows. He knew. He should have been doing it himself. Yeah, sure, it's his parents' fault.
Or even,
but he should, and especially with the amount of money that he has, he could have easily done it at any time during his career. He just paid negligence, and
he's
that's why you get fucked for shit like that.
He's had to travel and go places and things where it's like, okay,
that's another.
You need
one.
a passport. He had to. That's what,
exactly. That's what I was about to get. Right when you said brought up the travel thing, that's what made me think. Like, if he's traveling, shouldn't that become an issue anyway and get solved? Especially by the record label. Like, nobody looked into this. Nobody fucking checked this shit out.
And honestly, once you're at that point where now he's a millionaire now, he ain't no average nigga. You can get some shit expedited,
and all that was legal money. So it's like
bingo.
It's everybody else's fault for not paying attention to his citizenship. So like they can't take that money away from him. But at the same time, it's like, he had all this money. He could have did it.
It's just the fact that it's like, all right, if you were just still trapping, like you're in the shit, still trying to struggle up and get to where you are, that's one thing. But you're at the point now where there came a time where this issue was on the back of your mind and you had to have known, and you should have been proactive in doing your due diligence to make sure you're getting it done.
Definitely.
And that's why it's like, as much as I feel bad for the brother, because I don't want any black man to be locked up in jail, I can't act like this is an unjust system working against him.
Definitely.
It's the system doing its job. Expired visas are like the number one reason why we have an immigration issue, as some would say. So that's why I'm really just like, why are people bugging?
Do you even consider him one of us niggas, or he's like now he's like black?
Man, that nigga don't eat cornbread, he eat crumpets.
Like I guess over here, like in Africa, they're like for real black. Over here, I feel like we're black, and then like I'm not sure what. See, that's why I get confused. I'm not sure who's more black, American blacks or British blacks.
Let me let my dog in.
I'm kind of confused as to that. Like,
well,
I mean, as if there's an actual competition. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering, like, in society, who's looked at as the blacker of the two English-speaking blacks?
Oh, whoa. I can answer that then. I can answer that.
You see what I'm getting?
Yeah, it's out of the blacker, Americans.
American black?
Americans are the blacker because Africans have countries. Africans, you can be Nigerian, you can be from Zimbabwe, you're African.
I'm not talking about African.
That's
what I'm saying. Like,
let me finish, nigga.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, when it comes to black, we are black, and then the UK people are black. If you're not born in your country, like as far as in Africa, like if you're like dark as fuck, or like just meaning like Africa is like the motherland. Yeah. Chinese come from China. Like, so when you're in a black American or a black European, when it comes to who's black, we the niggas. Like black America, we created, or when it was white people, but our country created nigger, the word. Black people created nigga. We created hip hop. Hip hop in itself is its own culture. I swear, we just need a camera. We gotta start recording.
Oh my God.
We need video.
Zoe could have her own fucking show. I'm sorry. We're sorry, ladies and gentlemen. She's too rich sometimes.
But when it comes to being black, yes, I think Americans are the number one black. And like Trevor Noah said, we are the coolest of the black because we created hip hop.
I feel you.
And so we're the only ones not that can do it, but we know how to do it right. And that's why UK rhymes are only now picking up. Like, there's always been a handful. They're like, they're dope. And I wish I had these guys' names.
UK rappers are coming out.
These UK rappers. And if I played their music, they should be like, oh, it's just fucking dope. But it's never been popular. Like, they have now, Stefflon Don and shit, I think. And Skepta, he's cool. And but like just a few other heads, and it's kind of one of those things where like, okay, some of them have the flow, but all that other shit, like a lot of grime, is just like, oh, like, what the fuck, y'all niggas just like. But at the same time, I think Europe now, they since they, I think, feel like they study hip hop more, and they're more not educated, but they care more about history in general. They care about hip hop history, and that's why you still see them wearing like fucking Run DMC and shit, like fucking Adidas sweatsuit, and like it's just different. Like, we're more
their hip hop is more like is kind of like going through that '90s phase of hip hop. I feel like for them, like based off their style and like kind of like, of course their flows are different because like their voice patterns are different. So like they're able to, a lot of their rappers I notice are able to spit faster bars.
Mm-hmm.
But like, one thing that I always laugh at is like it's hard getting used to their terminology. Like some of their terminology is just kind of like, oh, that's a weird way to put that, but okay, yeah, and let's go with it. At least it rhymed, you know.
Like,
yeah, there's definitely like quite a few UK rappers that like I hear. I'm like, okay, yeah, I fuck with this. Like it's. I feel like they're more to the actual hip hop than like what a lot of our mainstream is.
And that's what I was getting at, like how they have stayed within a certain time frame of what we would call the golden era.
Yeah, definitely.
They stayed within the golden era of the 90s and also the classic 80s rap, and that's all they care about. Like, I don't think they caught the ringtone rap era wave and all that everything else. Everything else is kind of pop culture they know about, but I feel like they really hold true to that classic side of hip hop, and that's why when you look at their shit, like they still have like b-boys and shit.
Yeah, definitely. And
like on the squad.
I feel like why I do like it also is because I've always been a big fan of like New York hip hop. And I feel like they kind of get the griminess of the New York kind of like style, and I feel like maybe it's because like they're both like colder places than where we're from.
Like, what do you mean by like just 'cause it's cold?
Well, no, like
you feel like the cold makes you a better hip hop nigga?
No, just like griminess. There's always something about like New York hip hop that's very different. Very like over here, I'd call our gangster rap is actually gangster rap. Like over in like New York, I feel like the rap they were talking was more like hitman rap. Like they're down to straight assassinate niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like over here, we're like gang banging. It's like any nigga get touched. Over there, they're like, oh no, only people we want getting touched get touched, and you never find out about it. I feel like it's like
they're more serial killer rap.
They're like Batman, and we're more like I don't know, just not discreet about our shit. Who's a superhero who's just out in the open? Like they have like you know what I'm saying? Like they have like a very just dark fucking. People die in dark, cold places over here. Over here, we're just like, yeah, well, people just get hit with strays all the time. We just keep pushing.
I can't think of anyone.
It's like, I'm not sure. Like, does my explanation make sense? Do you get it?
I get what you're saying. It's like horrorcore.
Yes,
they really fuck with like horrorcore rap to a degree.
But even horrorcore, that's Louisiana. That's like down south.
That sounds like Detroit, Midwest.
No, a lot of it comes from like the bayous where like they practice voodoo and shit. Memphis, shit like that. Like one of the originating like horrorcore was like I would say 3-6 Mafia.
3-6 Mafia, and
3-6 Mafia.
Tech Nine.
Yeah, because before 3-6 Mafia, they're 666 Mafia. They're very explicit about just like 666 shit. Who else? There's fucking also what are Juggalos? What's that group called? Insane Clown Posse? Yeah,
ICP. They're hell yeah.
That's
honestly,
like
I'm not gonna lie.
Core right there. Not all of it appeases me, but some of it's cool.
I was down to go to an ICP show.
Nigga, what the fuck?
I really am because it's different.
It's
like,
very different. It's very different. It could be fun. It would be fun, but like, yeah, I don't feel like that'd be much. I'm not a big fan of all their music.
What do you mean?
I'm not a big fan of all the music.
I know. I'm not a big fan of all the music either, but it's just like I would like to go to a show just to experience the show,
definitely.
You know?
But I'm thinking about how long would I be willing to like sit there and be like, all right, I want to go home now.
You never know, though. That's the thing.
That's true.
Remember, we did the whole Warped Tour thing, and that was the first time that I ever been inside of a mosh pit, and that was probably the most fun I'd ever been in any shows. Like, she was wild. Damn, I forgot where the fuck the shit was.
What are you looking for?
I was trying to find this dope ass UK. Was it? Yep, here it is. Verbs and Mr. Slips.
If Mr. Slips you some Xannies.
Here's a little music real quick.
Trying to stay on top of it all for the sake of the cause. Come a long way from pound upper for the staircase wall. Barefaced fools on stairways breaking rules.
You're hearing them first from the Block is Hot podcast.
Face fake when you play with tools. Days change, the pain stays stained to all. Late for school, I blatantly played the fool. Had hate for few who claim they making moves. I'd walk the hallways late just to shake my mood. Always found time to.
And we're only giving you clips because, again, they're probably going to copyright this podcast. But this song is called Back on Tracks by Verbs and Mr. Slips.
You ain't true in yourself, what's left to prove? True shit. Yeah, cuz who's next to move? Some play the.
Another song by these guys.
Yeah, just.
This is actually the first song I heard from them.
Their fucking accents are crazy.
But they have the flow of hip hop is like.
Yes, exactly. It's like late 90s, early 2000s shit.
Like this reminds me of like a Living Legend, Murs, and
That's what I'm saying,
fucking
like
atmosphere.
Each one teach one till
I
I'm
love that this kind of like that East Coast beat flow kind of shit.
Yeah.
Reminiscing on summer searching
But
for
again, though,
reasons.
it's unfortunate because not all of them have that same type of. Not all of them have that same type of that flow. So this is the minority, not the majority
Definitely.
that you hear coming out of the UK. At least that I've noticed.
Yeah. There's been other guys that I heard that like they definitely have a cool flow. They definitely all have like a faster flow than us.
And also, you know what's fucked up? And we over here at the Block is Hot. We try not to be prejudiced and racist. But I will say this.
Hold on, he speaks for himself right now. I don't know what he's about to say.
I will say this. I hear a lot of Americans say that they don't like UK accents. And I think that is also something holding back European hip-hop artists.
Possible.
I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
Me, fortunately, I think it's dope as fuck. But I also think it's kind of either you're a genius, like you're really smart, or you're sinisterly evil. Like it's like kind of like sinister and like evil. Like you could be my super villain arch nemesis.
I just find it funny how there's definitely something going around where I feel like Americans are having a little bit too much fun talking shit on British accents.
Shoot the fair one, nigga.
What?
That's my response.
Shoot the fair one.
Yeah.
Why are we shooting fair people?
No, shoot the fair one. If they got a problem, shoot the fair one. You got a problem with us talking shit? Shoot the fair one.
Nah, nigga, I'm gonna just shoot these hot ones. Pop, 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 pop.
They don't got no guns.
Oh, I forgot. Y'all British niggas got fucking strict gun laws. Ooh-wee. That's what I love about being American. Is that we still get those.
God bless America.
We said, fucking hell bring high water before someone fucking invades us with our pants down.
You know what? Since we're on this topic, how about the idea... Oh, no, that wouldn't make sense. Nah, forget it. I was thinking, like,
Don't tease.
why don't we have more, like, international sport between the UK and the States, like, as a whole, like... But then I remembered that the European Union, they aren't United States, so they wouldn't come together for an EU team to be against us like that. Like there wouldn't be like an EU soccer team versus us, like everyone gather together between, or just any. I was just thinking about it, like it wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work
beat
out.
the fuck out of us in soccer, I think.
I'm just talking about in sports in general, whatever, basketball.
Yeah, I feel like definitely basketball,
rugby, lacrosse.
Tennis. They play tennis against each other.
Oh no, yeah, I know we play, but that's not that's individual sport.
Yeah, but what? I think there is that. Don't we have an international basketball team? I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah, I mean,
but we would play like the British team or the Spain team or a EU team.
Yeah, that would be too big of a pool for them to have to sort through.
We got 50 fucking states.
Yeah, but I still feel like
you don't tell me a Nebraska Corny and White Boys the same size as this motherfucking nigga out of fucking Orange County just surfing all day. Nah, man.
Definitely. But even with that, like, if we're going size, you have to remember, like, the Netherlands have some of the tallest people. I think it's the Netherlands.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're tall.
Well, you don't have to just pull all from the Netherlands. They would be like, nah, like they'd probably try it. Just how we don't pull all our athletes from California. Like we get them from whoever's real.
True.
We got tall niggas.
America we have good size.
We have a little bit of everything. We might have someone from the Netherlands that
definitely. We might have some of our people leave this country, go to where they're from.
Nah, fam.
People do that.
We don't let you leave. What if it was like there was like a dual citizenship person like living over here? It's like nah, fam. We ain't gonna let you get on that flight. It's like just you here, but you can't. Doesn't mean you can just leave. Like, make a call to Delta real quick.
Yo, make sure this nigga can't go nowhere.
It's like pop this nigga's tires.
Yo, if this motherfucker even makes it to fucking Mexico, fucking shoot him.
Oh, since we're on the topic of EU niggas and we're talking about racism, let's take a listen to our good old friend Liam Neeson, who was recently in the news on some crazy
Before
shit.
you do that, just let me say that was the worst segue I've ever heard.
Who cares?
I don't even think Liam Neeson is from the UK at all a little bit.
I will say his accent begs to differ.
This is true. I don't use any names, but I was away and I came back and she told me she had been raped, but she handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way. But my immediate reaction was, I asked, did she know who it was? No. What colour were they? She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a kosh,
What's a kosh?
hoping I'd be
Style of weapon, I'm assuming.
approached
I don't know what
by
kind
somebody.
that is.
I'm ashamed to say that. And I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something.
Wait a minute.
So that I
Wait a
could-
minute. What? Do you think?
He called him Black Bastard.
Okay, is that a swear word? Bastard.
Yeah, it's sometimes. I didn't know it was a swear word for the internet.
Because at first I thought, because in my
Black
mind,
nigger?
I was like, why do you say black nigger? Like, why do you just call him a nigger? Like,
Yo, this nigga was dark.
help some black nigger. Like, what? Why? That's a double entendre almost.
He
Like,
was a nigga. Not just no nigga. He was a nigga. Nigga.
let's continue.
Yeah, my bad.
kill him. And it took me a week, maybe a week and a half to kind of go for that. And she said to me, where are you going? I said, I'm just going out for a walk, you know. She said, what's wrong? No, nothing's wrong. Fine. And it was horrible when I think back. But I did that. And I've never admitted that to it. I'm saying it to a journalist.
Like, why would he actually admit
But
to
I
this?
did learn a lesson from
Unless he had a
it.
guilty
And I
conscience.
eventually thought, what the are you doing, you know?
He had one of those.
And I
Like,
come from a society, I grew up in Northern Ireland in the Troubles, and I, you know,
Oh, so I was right. He is from the
I
UK.
knew a couple of guys that died on hunger strike, and I had
Or EU,
acquaintances
I mean.
that were very caught up in the Troubles. And I understand
What's
that
the
need for
Troubles?
revenge, but it just leads
is that a gang?
to more
It's
revenge and
capitalized.
more killing and more killing. And, you know, Ireland, Northern understand that need for
Wait, what?
knew a couple of guys that died on hunger
capitalized.
strike.
What?
And I had
Very caught up in the troubles.
acquaintances that
Pause
were
it.
very caught up in the Troubles.
It's done.
And I
Pause it.
understand
Yeah,
that need for revenge, but it just leads
What?
to more revenge and more killing and more killing. And, you know,
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Let the
Ireland,
clip finish,
Northern Ireland's proof of that. you
just so
know.
people can hear everything.
all the stuff that's happening in the world,
Yes, we're
and
talking
the
over it.
violence is proof of that. You know,
I'm not talking out loud.
so it's so. But that's primal need. I understand.
You
You
can
know,
relate to that.
No, yeah. What I was asking is the Troubles like a gang or some shit? Why was it capitalized like that?
I think he was talking about his troubles, like troubling.
No,
like,
that just look up Troubles in Ireland.
Now I'm interested. Is that a gang or some shit?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you know,
I think it's like that's probably what they used to describe people looking for troubles.
No, it wouldn't be capitalized then. It was.
Oh, Irie.
Look, the troubles. What is that? Guerrilla war? The troubles, conflict. Oh, during the 20th century. Oh, is that when they came with the Irish car bombs and shit like that? That's where that shit comes from. Okay, it makes sense.
So he was talking. They were talking about, I guess, like he was understanding like primal nature.
Yeah, I think they're talking about a new role that he was doing, where you know the roles that he does. He's usually the avenging angel, the avenging angel of death. So I'm assuming they asked him something that got him out of that. And from what I assume is that was just like a random memory that he remembers. And like, I mean, from what like I feel like a lot of people are trying to like demonize, like, oh, he's a fucking racist. I get what he's saying. Like, yo, fucking, he knew that a black dude fucking raped whoever was close to him, and now he's just kind of out there with a vendetta, hoping that he's able to take it out on a black dude that is
asking for it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I kind of took from it too. It's like, I'm not saying he's in the right. You shouldn't be doing that. But honestly, like if people that victimize him, I always say like, what if your daughter was raped? What if that was your girlfriend or your best friend was raped? And it's just like, you're so upset. You don't know what to do with yourself. So you're just putting yourself in a situation where you're more than likely to contact that person from which you thought hurt someone you loved. So you could feel better. It's like I completely understand that. Like if someone like I wouldn't say that I would do it, but if someone like just went and like let's just say like stabbed the shit out of my homie, and there was like, oh shit, these little Filipino cats just stabbed the shit out of the homie Daryl, I'd be like, oh shit, really, son? It's like, all right, well fuck. Might just go walking around some fucking Filipino neighborhoods like, oh, someone's trying to start some shit. Like, I'm just trying to cut a motherfucker now. Like, or do a drive. That's how drive-bys happen.
Yeah.
That's how, like, gang warfare happens.
Exactly. It's like, wait, who cut you? Some Filipino guys? Where at?
Yeah, go.
Over here?
What general location?
Yeah,
like,
it's like, okay, well, like, what sizes were they? Like, what, like, just like...
basic description, you know?
Yeah, and that's why random people get touched.
Exactly. And
that's why the wrong people get shot all the time.
And the thing is, though, he even said it himself, like, it took him a while, but he realized, like, how bad that was and how it wasn't good to think and feel like that, like, how crazy he was.
Yeah.
But people, I feel like people, like, cut out that part and they don't want to hear that because they don't want to acknowledge the whole conversation. They just need a reason to be upset.
Especially because he's white. No, any white man says anything that's could be carried, could be taken as racist, they get no redemption.
No redemption whatsoever. Uno más, por favor. But I just thought that was a pretty interesting story that's kind of making its rounds, and how people are trying to act like they're morally superior to Liam Neeson when they probably never even been in that type of situation that would put them in that type of fit of rage. Like, rape is something that's so serious and something that's like, it is being talked about today, but at the same time, there's people that are out there that aren't talking about it and that have gone through that, and it's something that it is sensitive to, where if your loved one has ever been in that situation, you don't know what you would do until it happens, and God forbid it ever happens.
It's angry. I've had female friends come up to me and like there's only been I've probably had 3 friends who have claimed to have been raped, and I was pretty convinced on it. And like just like hearing about it, it's like it's an angering feeling inside of yourself that like somebody that you actually care for had like this fucking horrible thing happened to him.
Yeah, I know. And then it makes you think, like,
makes you feel bad.
It makes you feel bad, and then it also just makes you feel like, fuck, like, people are out there.
Yeah.
Like,
it makes you want to it definitely makes you feel like doing something about it, but it's like there's nothing you could do.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, like, there was a point where I used to make a lot of like rape jokes, like not rape jokes, but I would be like, oh, I hope that person gets fucking raped, like, because that's like the ultimate. Like, I wouldn't wish death upon anyone, but to a piece of shit person, like a dude, I'm like, yeah, you can get raped. Like, go ahead.
Get raped by an AIDS dick for all I care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just like, now it's like, I don't even like saying that out loud, just because I don't want to have that situation where like someone comes up to me and tells me that they've been raped, because I just remember that happening to the homie, like Rivera. Like he had made a rape joke, just like so, and then like he said like everyone laughed and was having a good time, and then like after everything kind of died down, so like this chick pulled him to the side and was like, I'd actually been raped before, and that was you just kind of like made me relive that, and it was like. Fuck.
Yeah.
And I know it's fucked up, but at the same time, like now that I'm realizing how calm it is, just out of respect for that situation, I don't do it. I'm not a stand-up comedian.
I
like,
definitely understand that, but I feel like it's kind of like, okay, woman, thanks for raining shit on my parade. You didn't have to. You could have told me any other time. You could,
bingo.
You could have told me like 2 weeks from now, maybe, or something. But like, okay, now you tell me. Now you tell me.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, asshole. It's like saying a retard joke. And then finding out, like, having someone go, like, oh, yeah, my sister.
No, I don't give a fuck about that now.
It's like, that's a
I'll make it
bit-
rehab. I don't get it. That's drugs. That's different. I'm sorry.
Drugs.
Rehab?
No, I said a retard joke.
Oh, we said retard. Yeah. Well,
No, yeah, retard joke.
well, let's
And
just
then
be
someone's
real.
like, hey, can you not use the word retard? My sibling's retarded. I was like, can't feel you.
I'm not, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to really feel bad about the word retarded only because retarded was a fucking medical term. Okay? Like, it was an actual medical term.
We can't just go around calling people faggots anymore. Like, I'm not going to go around gay people just throwing
Oh,
faggot
no, I'm not
around.
going to call an actual retarded person retarded because that's insulting. But a fucking regular person who's not retarded, why the fuck are you getting offended?
No, it was more of said retarded joke, like like rude shit, and it's like, yo, can you not do that? It's siblings are retarded. It's like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean it like that. It was a joke. It was a horrible joke.
I guess I'd have to be there at that time.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I just called someone like, "What, you fucking retarded?" Like, if someone got sick, well, and someone said like, "My so and so is retarded,"
Yeah,
and
it's like, well, no, I'm not calling them retarded.
it's like,
I'm
yeah, it's
calling
like,
you
well,
a fucking retard.
yeah, it's like, I'm not calling them retarded, but I'm now calling you a fucking retard for being mad at that. Okay,
it's
like,
yo, you're a little bit rude for calling your sibling retarded when I was clearly calling you retarded.
because the thing is, though, at the end of the day, I'm still insulting you. If I say, "Well, what are you, fucking mentally retarded or mentally challenged?" What are you, mentally handicapped? What, I'm now using the correct denomination for it, but it's like if I went, "Oh, you fucking short person" or "you little person," like I'm still calling you a midget.
I still use midget. I still use midget. I feel like that's a group of people that doesn't get enough respect, and it's because they're hard to see.
That is true. But I'm just saying, if I use the correct term, like if someone says, it's like, "You're fucking African American," like, oh, thank you for being politically
No,
correct.
please
But
don't call me African American. I'm not African.
you're Black American.
Whoa.
So
Yeah, Negro. Whoa. Yeah, Migger. Whoa. Hey, wait. How do I feel about that? I'm not sure if I should get mad by that. A Migger. Should I?
what do you mean?
You still have a house phone?
Yeah, always. You don't?
I don't know.
You should always have a landline.
Yeah, they're the only ones that work in emergencies.
Exactly.
Right?
It's the only reason why we have one.
Totally lost train of thought for a second, though.
Well, we're talking about political words as far as the trigger words of retard and like rapes and midgets.
retard.
But midgets are still like, as the term midget, I would only use if I was trying to insult someone.
I don't think that is that actually offensive. Like, did they come together and say that it's offensive?
You know what? I take that back. And I know I may get some flack for this. I don't have any midget friends.
Yeah.
I would like to. I mean, I'm not being prejudiced or racist.
Cecilia.
Like, yeah, Cecilia does count. She's 4'11", I think.
No, actually, I think she's shorter than that.
She's like 4'10".
Yes.
Yeah, she's technically one. She's just a little, but all right, that's
She
what I
might
was
be 4'9".
that's what I was gonna get to. Okay, now
Bitch is short.
if I was in a situation, it's all about timing and how much time do I have to say the two words. If I'm driving in the car and I see a midget doing something funny on the side of the road and we're driving, I'm not gonna say, "Oh my god, look at this guy, look at that little person." I'm gonna be like, "There's a midget."
Oh my god, that midget's on a unicycle.
Exactly. See, you're not gonna be like, "Oh my god, that little person's on it." Oh, we drove past it already.
Oh my god, that midget's on a unicycle and is juggling.
See, it's just way too much.
Yeah, I'm not saying little person on a unicycle juggling.
See,
with the bear.
so as long as you understand where I'm coming from in the heat of my excitement, because I'm not gonna lie, little people are God's punchlines. I didn't invent that, but
I heard that.
It's still. I mean, because have you ever met? Because I have met a few little people. They're always really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they're real chill people, and they're down to have a good time. I've never met an asshole, like a short dwarf or something like that.
When you're that small, you can't be an asshole.
Or if you're extremely obese. So that's why it's like, okay, cool. Like it's like every time I've been out in a situation where I'm having fun or I'm just living life, they've always been real positive and upbeat. I understand everyone has their bad days, but you know
who I think needs to start being more respectful of people? People that are extremely skinny. I feel like if you're underweight, you need to start being more respectful to people because you could get laid the fuck out at any time. And I feel like there's some skinny people that
I don't know why I did that actually.
Christ. Fucking being all loud. I feel like they just do like, I feel like some of them are just like, I got texts. But like, he's like, you can knock the fuck out at any time. I'll break your arm. And then you can't shoot no one.
Yeah.
I feel like they need to start watching these. I think we need to start going after overly skinny people next.
Start punking them on some.
no. Then they're going to start picking up guns. Like, there's nothing I can do.
Wait, nigga, they already do that. What are you talking about? Skinny niggas shoot. They don't fight. And they rap about it. like all these skinny short dudes that are rappers, like all they do is shoot niggas.
Guns are scary. Nigga, what was Chris Rock said? Nigga, you got pecs, I got texts.
So I can pull a trigger, nigga. Do a pull up.
Pull up and wreck it.
Oh shit. All right, so this is a little bit of a deterrent, but it's kind of in the same lane. We're gonna talk about the avenue of snitching. How do you feel about that purple-headed, rainbow-headed nigga, 6'9"? He's up in fucking the feds snitching.
I want him. This is gonna be fucked up because we were just talking about it. I want that nigga to get raped. I mean that for serious. I want that nigga to get raped. I never liked him. All the bad things could happen to him and only him, nobody else.
That is true, and also he did get sexual misconduct with a minor again, so can't rock with the dude.
Anybody, oh man,
But this is what I was kind of gonna.
His life is entertaining.
His life is entertaining because he's a fucking buffoon.
He's such a fucking idiot.
But ask yourself this question though, all right? Let's just say, even if he did get out, even if for some reason, like by the grace of God, the court, he snitches, he turns fed time where he only gets maybe 5 years, or maybe 5 years, gets out. What can he do with the rest of his life knowing that he is a documented snitch and informant? Like,
he can't do anything. He's not welcome back into Hollywood.
Or what about hip? Well, we don't know. What about hip hop in general? Like, no one, everyone, even Snoop, everyone's saying like, we don't fuck with you.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, he's not going to be back into like his lane of Hollywood. He's not going to be wanted in the hood. There's no job that will fucking hire him
because he has 6'9" tatted all over his face.
There's nothing he could do. Do you
think he'll just commit suicide?
Somebody's going to kill him. Will kill him probably before that.
Nah, I don't think anyone's going to kill him, but I think he'd probably commit suicide.
Nothing's going to happen for him. Because he did not make smart choices, and now he's
like, his career is literally going to be over. Not literally going to be over. It is over because he's looking at Fed time regardless.
Yeah.
But his legacy is over. Like, it's tainted. Even worse than it already was.
It's like he might as well be dead. Like, what's going on with him? There's no way for that situation to be good. It's bad. That's a bad situation. There's no way of fixing it. Like, even like in the eyes of normal people, like, nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, we could rock with you. Like, nobody's gonna want it. It's like, yeah, you claimed all this Treyway shit, blah 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 blah. Of course they fucking turned on you, whatever. But then at the very end of the day, you still went against the one very strict rule of the streets, which is no snitching.
Nah, well, yeah, no. I agree with you.
There's no redemption.
redemption for him. I feel.
I just think that he has like little kid fans that would still support him. Because think about it, like, all right, check this. Today marks what was it? Shit.
Okay, wait. Okay, I feel that. Get your shit.
Wait a minute, Tim.
No, hold on. Okay, but you said he has little kid fans, but you have to remember that genre of his music isn't something that stretches out past like 2 years for any individual. Yeah, sure, you're 7 listening to this shit. Guarantee you by the time you're 12 or 13, you're not going to listen to that shit at all.
Nah, wait a minute.
You wouldn't even like
wait a minute. That's exactly what I was going to get at right now. Nope, time out.
I'll use an example. Linkin Park was one of my big favorite bands. That last Linkin Park album, it's no. Even like before that, like, yo, you fall out of your favorite band because whatever you fell into them for, they eventually lose it, especially if they didn't have a solid foundation.
Tim, it has been 16 years since 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying album has dropped.
This was a great album, though. This was actually good shit.
Again, no, I know. But with this day and age, since the bar of hip-hop has changed, like, some people said that his Gummo or Dummo, whatever the fuck his album name was good. They said it was a pretty good record. It had features on it. Kanye was on it. Nicki was on it. Like, it had noticeable features.
That doesn't mean it's good. Keep on going.
Again, though, that's your subjective opinion. Look outside of that. When you were in 6th grade, let's just say 50 Cent got locked up and he just got out right now based off this one project alone, and it was like, shit, 50, he's out. Let me go ahead and see what he's doing. What's up? What's good? What's his story? Let me see if we can get a documentary. Let's get an interview. He's gonna talk about like he would have a way to transition and market himself to get leverage, like, yo, don't do what I did. I wasted my life, I wasted my talent, my career, all that. But at the same time, I don't give a fuck about him. All I'm saying is that I think he would still have that small little percentage of fans that like are just ride or dies. Like,
yeah, of course, but that don't mean shit. What I'm saying is he's not going to be a thing. Like, put it this way: Shine. What happened to him?
As soon as he was released, they deported him.
DMX. What happened to him?
He's about to go on a tour celebrating in Hell is Dark.
All their careers, like, and they weren't gone for nearly as long as this.
Well, also they developed. Shine. He did a fat bid.
Yeah, Shine did.
Yeah, Shine did a fat bid.
He did like 20.
Now DMX though, he had a successful career. Remember, he had multi-platinum albums. He has movies on top of movies.
That's another thing you gotta look at.
And also, just his performances were dope.
Yeah.
The only thing is he succumbed to drugs and he had his own demons, and unfortunately he destroyed his own career. But even now he's going on tour, and like I've seen him perform, and it was still dope. And I think that if he's clean and they get his shit together, he may put on a decent dope show. Like, this may be the time where it's like, yo, he may really get his shit together, and he may stop and may see that he has opportunities now to where people want to help him. But remember, a lot of people didn't like DMX. Made some enemies.
Like who?
He made enemies as far as in the music industry, as far as like fans, of course. We all respect fucking DMX. He's an OG.
I don't feel like Tekashi actually had any fans. I don't.
No. Yeah, he was all haters. All haters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if he did somehow get out early, I don't think his career would be able to go anywhere.
But again, we're also a lot older than his fan base. His fan base is like in middle school.
He doesn't have no street cred. He's a snitch.
That's also
a big. That's a big thing that matters, especially when you're a child. To us, street cred like that doesn't matter anymore. It's like, fuck yeah. Get the fuck out of there. Hey, you go, man. I get you. But when you're talking all that shit, especially to a middle schooler, it's like, oh, he was gangbanging, but he snitched on all his niggas. He was a fake this whole time. I knew I shouldn't have liked that guy. That's what happens.
It's like
I do not see any faith in him having anything after he gets out. I don't want him. I do not want that shit. This whole mumble rap shit that we're going to, I see everybody dropping out. I don't ever want this shit to like resurface or like have it's a longer stint in hip hop history than it's already had.
It's like
I'm done with it.
I feel like mumble rap itself is like phasing itself out, and we're seeing it now, just like we saw ringtone rap end. and it's fucked up because it's either they died or they are getting locked up or their music. People are just the wave is dying.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like
it was a trend. It's a trend.
It's a trend that is basically trying to like oversee itself.
And unfortunately, I don't feel like this wave that happened. I don't feel like any of them were smart enough to actually invest that money. Like how we had when.
I think they did. I think some of them do.
It's very possible that some of them did. Some of them were probably smart. I feel like Lil Xan was probably smart.
It's too early to tell. Very too early to tell.
True.
That's something you'll see like in maybe like 10 years if they're broke or not, or if they're still within that position. Like some of them may just be recycled, like just recycling the money or just making money off their revenue streams, and where they'll just kind of be figures and just be there. Like you'll know them, but you're not going to be looking for them and checking for their music.
Yeah. Because, I mean, as much as I do talk about it and as much as I hate it generally, there is like a song or two scattered throughout that whole subgenre of that like I do like. I'm like, this is a cool song. But far and few in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, these rappers are ridiculous. All of them have tattoos on their faces. I don't get it, man. We're old. We're getting old.
We are getting old. But with that, we are getting a little bit wiser. And that is why we are starting off our first book of the month selection recommendation from your boy, Unidentified Black Male.
Woo.
And this suggestion was actually brought to us by our good friend Sam Tripoli of the Tinfoil Hat Podcast.
Yeah, Sam's a great guy.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Well, then let's get a fucking air horn for Sam.
Yeah.
God damn it.
There you go. Yo, and for those of you that don't know, we did recently do a podcast with Sam.
One thing at a time. So
my bad.
the book of the month.
We were doing that.
I know you always like go. You always go off of the docket list onto some random shit. It's like, wait, like we're gonna talk about that. That's on the list too. All right.
Sorry,
we did have a special guest feature. Yeah, while you go take a piss, I'll go handle out the book of the month. All right. So the book of the month right now that we are discussing and we'll be reviewing in the month of March. So go ahead and cop this. It is Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. All right. So this book right here was actually published back in, I believe, the 90s or early 2000s. Let me actually do a quick fact check just because this is actually literature and I don't want to, fuck over these guys. Okay, so Behold a Pale Horse. Oh, yeah, so this book was actually released in 1991, and it's a book about conspiracies by a man named Milton William Cooper. I haven't really gotten too far into it. Read the foreword today, and I'm on chapter 1, so I'm only about like 40-something pages in. But this is the book that we're going to be discussing in the month of March. So that's something we're going to be doing every month. One book.
We got to do that at the beginning of March, too.
No. Well, this is the book for February. In March, we're going to have a new book.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to get better, all right? Yeah. Honestly, at this day and age, I've realized to myself that I'm at the point where I would rather have someone recommend me a good book to read than a good TV show. Because I just feel like I'd rather be sharpening my mind and learning something different and new than just watching and sitting in front of a TV again.
I actually do enjoy reading. What I do like about it is that I feel like it helps improve my writing.
Mm-hmm.
As someone
using different words, vocabulary increases.
Kind of bring different perspectives into my eyes and shit like that.
But what we're going to be doing also, if you own a Amazon Prime account and you have Kindle Unlimited, which everyone has, it's just if you have a tablet or if you have a e-reader, we're going to be doing a comic book of the week. These comic books can be found on Kindle Unlimited, so you can read along with us for free and take advantage of that Amazon Prime that you have and are probably not utilizing. I just barely found out that I had Amazon Video, Amazon Unlimited, and you even have audiobooks too for free.
I didn't have... no, I don't think that's right because certain
audiobooks.
Oh,
It's a very limited amount, but they do kind of update it, and they have original series.
Because Audible was trying to charge me a monthly pass. I was like,
they have that one too. But again, I don't listen to enough. I mean, nah, I'm cool.
I was cool on it because you can find a lot of those shits on YouTube anyway.
Bingo. So we're going to do a comic book of the week that you guys can follow along with. My comic book suggestion of the week is going to be a comic book called The Boys. The Boys is written by a writer, Garth Ennis, and it is illustrated by Derek Robertson and published by Dynamite Entertainment, okay? So The Boys is basically the group of people that keep superheroes in check. So this universe is actually involved with a bunch of superheroes. So if you've ever seen the anime One Punch Man, if you ever watched the movie The Watchmen or read that comic book series, it's like that, where we live in a world where superheroes are acknowledged. However, they're reckless. They don't care about who they kind of kill in the fucking crossfire. And this guy, Huey, his girlfriend gets killed by a super, and he gets recruited to join this team. And basically, they fuck up all the fucking superheroes. And, you know, I'm only on the first. Actually, I'm on issue 3 right now, so I'm still getting into the meat and potatoes of the story. But Tim, I think you would actually really enjoy this one. It has a pretty insane scene where this new recruit to the superhero squad is basically pouring her heart and soul out to the captain and is like, oh my God, I've always wanted to be a part of your team, this and that. And then he's like, I've always looked about you. And then you see him in one panel just starting to unzip and pull down his pants. She turns around and then it just straight up says, suck it. And it's like, it's exactly like what you're like, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm not gonna do that. He's like, what? I thought you wanted to be on the team. And it's just like, it's so outrageous. You're like, oh my God, he's really gonna make her suck his dick to be on the superhero squad. He's supposed to be a goddamn superhero. And they're actually gonna be making a live action version of this coming to Amazon Prime. So again, Amazon Prime, you'll be able to read this comic, catch up on it, and then watch the movie coming soon this year.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the title. I've never actually read it. Sounds like I am definitely going to give that a look. Are we just doing that one? Do I do?
Yeah, yeah.
So 2. Is that too many?
2. You can read 2 comic books like in a week.
This is kind of goes into a series because like the latest series I've been on. With the advent of the latest Venom movie, I had gotten very interested in the whole Venom universe, and I started upon the Edge of the Venomverse series. Each series is about 6 to 8 books long. The first part of the series is Edge of the Venomverse. I recently just finished Venomized, and from that it goes into the next part. I don't actually know what comes after this. I haven't gotten into it yet, but yeah, it's a Marvel comic. It was written and drawn out by Cullen Bunn and Ivan Coelho, and essentially what happens is Venom ends up going into the antihero Eddie Brock with his Venom symbiote end up going into an alternate universe where pretty much there's a lot of Venoms trying to take over, and even some surprise guests like Carnage and whatnot is wreaking havoc all over. It's pretty interesting. I'm enjoying it so far. You go ahead and check it out. Let me know what you think of it. Me personally, Venom has always been one of my one of my favorite comic book characters.
Why is that?
Honestly, I think it's just like how he first made his entrance into it. Just kind of like originally was one of Spider-Man's alternate suits, back in like I think that was the Secret Wars. Yeah, Secret Wars.
He was in Secret Wars?
Yeah.
I thought it was Black Spider-Man.
Yeah, Black Spider-Man. That's the Venom symbiote. There's no Eddie Brock, but there is the Black symbiote. That's when it got introduced. And then eventually they ended up writing it into the normal continuity of the Spider-Man. And then after Spider-Man lost it, Eddie Brock ended up picking it up. But then they've recently even rewrote that where apparently Deadpool is the original person to ever come in contact with the Venom symbiote.
Who?
Deadpool. That's
Yes, they did. They did do that. They did do that, and that wasn't a good thing.
Yeah. They
Deadpool shouldn't be with a fucking symbiote costume at all.
That was actually another pretty cool series of comic books where Deadpool had the Venom symbiote, and then he ended up losing it, and then he ended up combining a bunch of symbiotes, and then it was just wacky Deadpool and Venom carnage going on all over the place. Pretty fucking awesome.
But those are our comic book of the weeks and our book of the month.
Yeah.
Let us know how you guys feel about those books on our Instagram page. Shoot us a DM. Leave us a comment on any post, or also get at us at Twitter. We are now on the Twitter at the Block is Hot Podcast.
Oh, we got Twitter?
Yeah, we got Twitter now.
Oh, we been have Twitter, right? No?
Yeah, we got taken down for spamming. Yeah, because I guess when you automatically just link your Instagram to your Twitter and
it does everything.
Yeah, it's not good.
Don't a lot of people do that? Why don't they?
I guess they probably do too, but since we have 0 followers and anything, it just looks like a fake account. But I appealed it. Okay, but here, just to transition back on to some conspiracy shit.
Wait a second.
Oh, go ahead.
Isn't there another dark superhero movie coming out soon?
Yes.
There's a couple.
It's the one that's like, basically what would happen if Superman was evil.
Yes, there's that one, but that's not the one I'm talking about. It's a group of superheroes. It's not the boys, but I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that whole shit. I'm realizing there's another dark one coming out. Fuck, never mind. It's not important. I don't feel like trying to rummage through my brain's memory on trying to figure out what's coming out and what's not. Let's just keep going. What were you about to say?
One of our followers,
that sexy beast.
Yeah, NSX, 30th birthday. Happy birthday, NSX. Born on 1999, February 6th.
Thank you.
You know what's fucked up? That's actually probably the most slept on sports car right now.
Yeah, definitely. I heard they're doing pretty fucking cool things with like the tuning and whatnot.
Word?
Yeah.
Like they're like, are you talking about aftermarket tuning or okay? That's pretty sick.
They're pretty much. So I think it's Hondada. I'm not 100% sure, but it sounds like some Hondada shit because they're pretty in the name Hondada. They're about their Hondas. But from what I understand, they're like using, because it has like it has like a spare hybrid engine inside of it, and they're using. It's supposed to activate a certain way, but they retuned it where like they're getting a lot more power out of it at certain times, and it makes the car ultimately beaster.
Well, I know that they have that dual hybrid engine too.
Yeah, that's what helps it. It's because like did you watch the 24 Hours of Le Mans last year, like at the ending of the year?
Nigga, you know I did not watch the 24 Hours of Le Mans last year.
Okay. Yeah,
I love how you asked it, but I'm just saying, you know I didn't watch it, bro. Like,
if you look into it and keep up with some like a lot of like the pretty much, I think it was Toyota that ended up having 3 of the top ranking cars, but like all of them were like these engine like gasoline electric hybrids. Those are actually doing very well in the racing world because they're able to have just, I don't fucking know, they're just fucking good.
I'm happy with that. If we can do that, like I would love to have a gas hybrid engine as long as I can have a manual transmission. That's all I want.
Well, yeah, definitely with a gas hybrid you have to have the manual transmission because it's mechanical. The way that the engine works with the transmission, it doesn't have to be manual, obviously, but like say an all electric engine, it's just wow.
Also, it has to be automatic.
Well, there's no gears in an electric motor. There's no gears.
I know that, but
yeah, but like in like a gas electric hybrid, yeah, it could be manual. Because now you're bringing the gasoline motor back into the situation, which needs gears.
Oh, wait a minute. this actual story. I mean, I know we're talking about cars, and we can get always sidetracked on cars, but we actually had one of our subscribers, and you can follow this follower too.
Oh, we never looked into that one thing that one guy wanted us to look into. Oh, watching dabs. This is bad. This was like, he requested this like 2 weeks ago. Now, we dropped the ball on that. Watching dabs, we got you. We'll look up that whatchamacallit guy. I gotta go back. We gotta go back to Instagram and find that shit. I'm sorry, off track, but yeah, go back to that.
So the follower that I was gonna shy out was watching Dab sent me this story right now. Well, watching Dab sent me another story.
Well, now fuck your last story. We're just going to pick up with this story. Now you're satisfied.
He wanted us to know
we got you.
He wanted us to know how we felt about this. Sorry, bro. He has a good page though. He takes pictures of his watches and his dabs.
Hey, being that you gave us a second chance to respond to one of your things that you wanted us to like look up. Thank you. We appreciate you that much more.
Is this Garrett?
Is it? I don't know. No, don't say that.
Okay. All right, so
that's not Garrett.
No, let's talk about the account watching dabs.
No, I don't know.
All right, so the story is media blackout. Woman found dead days after exposing Bill Clinton's faith healer as a child rapist. Ooh, mysterious suicide. I told him. Bill Clinton did that shit. I would not be surprised if this is true. What about you?
Yeah. Yo.
With a 1%, hey, maybe they didn't.
She looks like a good-looking woman. Bill Clinton was definitely probably fucked her too. Oh, he probably touched her dead corpse. I'm not sure. A lot of accusations that you put on Bill Clinton. He already lied to our whole nation once. So he's technically anything's up for grabs when it comes to him. He's a liar. He's a known liar.
It's just the Clinton Foundation.
Are liars.
They are liars, and he is a liar too. And I don't know about you. It's Tim Redhose, co-host of the Block is Hot podcast. Just to let everybody know that. Do you remember this?
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
I would once again like to say that I did. My fellow Americans, I would once again like to say that I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I did, however, go to ifreeclub.com, where they offer hundreds of free products.
Oh, fuck you! Wait, hold on, give me a second. You just went old school with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's some fucking old. For those of you that are too young to know, or too old to ever dabble, that was a download that sometimes if you're trying to get some porn on YouTube,
you got a virus.
It was definitely one of those. If you're trying to download some porn on YouTube, you definitely got that message. Because you're like, damn, what porn is this? Oh shit, it has that actress in it. I'm gonna download it. And then like 30 seconds later, you're like, damn, my computer downloaded that fast. And then you play it, and then it was that.
It's like, this is just a little bullshit ass file.
It was getting Rick rolled before getting Rick rolled was a thing. It was the original Rick rolled. You just got.
Is Rick roll still a thing? Like, do people still get Rick rolled?
Every once in a while, I'll find a remnant of it, and I'll think it's like a real video. Like now, it's kind of like as if you're walking through Vietnam and you accidentally set off a landmine.
Or the trees start talking. It's a Reddit thing.
Is that like some Vietnam War shit?
Yeah, when the trees start talking in Vietnam.
That doesn't sound safe.
Well, they're always hiding in the trees.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that doesn't sound like a good thing. If the trees are talking, that's like, you're about to get attacked.
It's like, the meme is like, I am the Lorax. I can speak to the trees. The trees speak Vietnamese.
What the fuck? the fuck is going on Reddit?
The Reddit's feeds are fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
That's how I realized, honestly, in another world, that I am old.
Wait. What were we just talking about?
Oh, Bill Clinton Foundation.
Did we finish that? Wait, am I high?
Yeah, a little bit from the most.
Why am I going? Did we talk about it? Did we finish it?
We kind of talked. I mean, like, I don't know enough about the chick. We can read the article, I guess.
Thanks for bringing it up on the day of our show that I should look into this and see if I can find out some new shit.
I mean, I just got it this morning, and I just thought, hey, we can talk about it.
At least Sam Tripoli gives us a couple of days to study up on some shit. You're just like, hey, now that we're doing the show,
okay, wait, all right.
Here's something.
All right, the chick, Sabrina Bittencourt, 38, died at her home in Barcelona just days after accusing John of God, real name, Texera. Yeah, go ahead. I don't suck at reading. That was just a fucking different name. Fuck you.
You suck at reading out loud.
Well, no, it's like I'm just not gonna butcher the middle name.
You're not reading our advertisements in the future.
I'll read it. Jal Faria, of running a sex slave farm. She claimed young girls were held captive in a farming operation which exported babies on the black market. The woman would be murdered after 10 years of having babies in the alleged scheme run by the 77-year-old celebrity faith healer who was arrested last year after having hundreds of women abused, she said. Damn.
That sounds real.
Hundreds of women. Wait, damn, they spelled the shit out. Fuck. This is an Instagram post, all right, just so you guys know. Hundreds of women accused him of abuse. And I guess Ms. Bittencourt left Brazil and was forced to live under protection after receiving death threats.
1 second, though. What was her ass doing in Brazil?
That's where she lives?
Bittencourt is not a Brazilian last name.
Hey, what if she's trying to do the right thing?
What the fuck is she doing over there in the first place?
She's doing her shit.
You may continue.
Well, her eldest son, Gabriel Baum, confirmed her death, writing on Facebook, "She took her last step so that we could live. They killed my mother. Ms. Bittencourt has received reports of being sold for between $15,000 and $40,000. So she's a sex slave, I guess.
So wait, did they sell her or did they kill her?
They killed her.
And then they sold her?
No, she was a sex slave.
Oh, that's what she was doing in Brazil.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I guess basically the Vitmas Undias is an activist who worked with the Bittencourt and announced her death, saying the group announces with regret the death of Sabrina Bittencourt, which occurred around 9 p.m. in Barcelona on Saturday. The activist committed suicide and left a farewell note explaining the reasons why she took her own life. And she added, we ask you all not try and contact her relatives. What?
We ask you all not to try to contact her relatives. Is that could they have done...
They put that in her suicide? That's what she wrote in her own suicide note.
That's what I'm saying. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay, get the
2 of her 3 children are still not aware of what happened to their real father, Rafael Velasco, and is trying to protect them. Damn, poor grammar in this shit. Before her death, she was quoted saying, hundreds of girls were enslaved over years, lived on farms, and gallos, served as wombs to get pregnant for their babies to be sold.
Do you think any of those were genetic babies?
Yeah, clones?
You think any... Not necessarily even clones. Oh, just genetically enhanced humans?
Probably.
Maybe even human weapons?
I could...
Do you think we're there yet?
I could see that happening. And the reason why is this.
Who wants to buy a baby in a black market?
Well, let me grab another tasty beverage first.
That's wild. Black market babies. Like, I don't... Why would you want to buy a baby? That's wild.
Well, I don't know if you remember this ever being talked about within the conspiracy circles, but back in 2012, in South Russia, about 248 toxic barrels were found on like a ditch. They were containing baby fetuses.
I remember that.
And they were saying how that they were thinking it was a part of a like because they were deformed fetuses and shit, and they were saying how they were thinking how it was like a part of like a cloning operation. So just imagine if you're in a country and they have a little foundation, a little test where they're asking you to sell your eggs or just be a surrogate and then have an abortion or whatever, or they just asking you to have some type of surrogate where they're putting an embryo in your body, but it's really a clone, and then the baby's born. It doesn't look like you because it doesn't have to. Once it's already in the embryo, it doesn't matter. It's going to come out looking white or Japanese or whatever it is, but it just needs the physical vessel.
It needs your nutrients.
Exactly. So I could clearly see that happening where there's black site projects of cloning happening in other countries where regulation isn't as strict because it's not as developed.
Yeah. Or they're just in a country that's not part of whatever country or whatever nations do stand at the Geneva Convention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like kind of when you think about, remember the guy that got caught up because he edited the embryo,
Chinaman?
Yeah.
That's dead now.
Well, think about it. Like China has way different laws than America, so that could have been some American-backed companies saying, "Yo, fuck it, dog. You in China, you ain't got the same laws over here."
Yep. That's why outsourcing isn't. I mean, I guess that makes outsourcing even worse, technically. But that's why outsourcing isn't completely
until you
bad
get your gerb check.
The fuck did you just tell me?
Until you get your gerb check.
My gerb check.
They took your gerb.
That kind of outsourcing kind of sucks. But like when you try to do like black ops clandestine type shit, that's when outsourcing is probably
definitely
the best option. But like, yeah, that's why at the same time it's really bad, I guess, because black ops clandestine type shit probably shouldn't be going on. But if you're gonna do it, yeah, definitely don't do it in America. That's no. Go to Singapore. I think that's where a lot of shit takes place. Singapore is one of the richest nations, but like they have one of the smallest amount of citizens, and it's because that whole nation is like nothing but just like billion-dollar corporations.
Well, what about this? Because you said go off-site for that. Now this is going to tie into another conspiracy, but again, on the block is hot. This is all new information for some of you, so that's why we're here. We're trying to give you the newest, most realist information and at least the updates on some popular stories out there. Have you heard about the mystery booms going on across the fucking country?
Not recently, but I've heard of booms and shit like that.
Well, now they're starting to come up more frequently in other places. Like, I remember hearing about mystery booms for years. And I was like, oh, okay, mystery boom, nothing too crazy about that. But I think, what if they're really connecting tunnels, or like they're doing like deep subatomic explosions underground?
I believe that.
Yeah,
I believe something like that at least
to try to relieve pressure from the super volcano.
Not even
no, that was a little side.
That's actually would be a lot more comforting. But I know even with like the whole underground thing, did you ever look into mud flow or mud flood?
Not fully, not yet, not deep enough.
Well, I do. Like at first, I looked into it a little.
Tell us a bit about mud flow.
Yeah, so there's a couple different aspects into it. Apparently, they believe that there was we settled America possibly earlier than what's been recorded, because have you ever noticed those old-timey houses where like it seems like there's how like they have like a window on in the basement floor, and how like it looks like the arches on that window would look the same as like the upper floor windows? Well, they believe like there's some sort of mudslides that happened that like covered up a lot of different buildings or structures like that. So instead of like even worrying about digging down and getting that shit out, they just built on top of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. That happens in Chicago. Yeah. Chicago's basically like a sinking city, and they built on top.
Yeah, and I guess part of the theory in that is that there's
a lot of this, and a lot of those places actually hold a lot more technology than we're let on to believe. There's a whole lot of information. I'm not that well versed with it, but there's like a few houses where they're kind of going to, and like pretty much one of the things about a lot of these houses is about a lot of these houses are a lot of them have like a lot of expensive art and other things just gathered in them. So like there's so many different avenues that could actually be the truth. But one of the people are like, something that people believe is like, yo, like these were actually like, I guess, technology bases and shit like that. Where like, it's kind of, I didn't read up enough on it to give a good educated view, but it's worth looking into. And it definitely deals with just a lot of our shit. Like it kind of deals with the whole idea of steampunk. Like we're more advanced back, and shit got covered up, and then we had to recover from that, and this is where we're at again. It's kind of confusing. Apparently, there may be 200 lost years.
So you read textbooks, huh?
Honestly, no. That's I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah, it jives, but like there wasn't it was kind of hard to keep up because a lot like went into like religious shit where I was like, I don't know how we're getting religious with this, but I guess
everything stems back to religion because at the end of the day, the Bible is still considered a history book. And if you can find those places that are depicted in that history book, and then things make sense, it can give you answers. Yeah.
I've recently taken on a new finding in God.
That's good.
I'm trying to accept it a little bit more.
I always say you should read it from the cover to cover.
Oh, I'm definitely not reading the Bible.
Oh.
It's I can't. I've tried to read the Bible so many times. It's just doesn't happen.
You can't read a chapter a day?
It's not. I'd rather do so many other things. And then even with like how a lot of people are like, yeah, but the Bible speaks to me. There's never a point where I was. Then the other thing is, I think fucks me up is that like I read like the King James version where like all the words are like very like there's so many ands and thys that like I'm like okay, like everything I read is like just a giant run-on sentence. I'm like, Bible, you're not doing this for me.
You know what's funny? And don't you think that should be a reason why you should push through and read it?
Because like I get the gist.
That you know what? But that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not. It's like I'm laughing because like I get it. I've been there, but I again, I've heard people say that so many times, saying it's like, oh, I can't read it. It's too hard. If it's too hard, you got to get some smarts because it's a book that's been like around forever. And then also, I when people talk like mad shit, and then I ask them like, well, have you ever read it from cover to cover? No. Well, then how can you talk about it? It's like if you turned off Scarface just after fucking he gets locked up at the fucking camp, it's like, I don't want to watch about some fucking Cuban getting locked up at some fucking camp. Well, then shit, you ain't gonna call, but you call it a shit movie. How you gonna say anything? Or if you cut it off before he cuts up a nigga with a fucking chainsaw.
Yeah, that's kind of important. No, yeah, like I've definitely read through different parts of the Bible, so I definitely have a general gist of it, and I feel like that's enough. Because that's what I kind of base my religion off, like my faith off of. Is like I don't need to know everything because everything doesn't actually affect me. But I do have like I am forming a little bit of like, you know what? There could definitely
it is good to form your own opinion. Though. That's
God
definitely
of some sort going on.
I believe in intelligent design. That is something that I say now for people that like are like if I'm seeing someone and I hear them just openly talking shit on religion, and it's like I don't feel like being that guy, like, oh, like, stop being, like, such a fucking dick about it. I'm just like, yo, I believe in intelligent design. And it's like, so at the end of the day, like, I'm willing to say that there is a higher power up there that has, basically made this shit that we're fucking on right now. However, I could have been lied to about who made it and how the story was told, but I believe that there is a capital G-O-D up there.
I feel you, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely. I definitely believe that there's something more going on than what I can see with my fucking mortal eyes. But at the same time, I could tell that, like, it doesn't affect what I have to do on this planet. So I'm not going to be, like,
Oh, no.
like, crusading and shit. But, like, I do understand that, like, spiritually, they could definitely be more after this.
I think it's more so like a frequency. Like, I feel like nobody likes a bad tune, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you should have a good frequency and always be on some positive vibe shit and always be good to your fellow man.
Yeah.
Because if you're not practicing in that and you're just like a murderer, dick, rapist type of person, like a Ted Bundy, then it's like, okay, your frequency is off and you're going to be like a record that's thrown away, not put up on the shelf to be admired again and again.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just how I see it.
A lot of things in life is just about being a better person.
And I also
Be a
believe
piece of
in like
shit.
the Lovecraftian mythos. I believe in all that like cosmic stuff of like different because like I don't believe that we're the first. If there's a God, I don't think he just fucking made us and it was done. He's like, nah, he finally made us in our image. He probably made a bunch of other shit. So that's why we have different dimensions, and that's why I believe in like, you know, different realities and like all that crazy quantum physics shit that they're talking about. Like, I believe in that. Like, I don't want to open up a doorway or a window or a gateway anywhere, because then we're gonna let out some shit from the mist, and then we're all gonna get ripped apart by octopuses with fucked up tentacles.
Octopuses with thorns on their tentacles.
It's like Cthulhu's probably real.
Nigga, I'll sock Cthulhu in the tentacle. Cthulhu could catch the hands, bro.
Talking mad shit for so in a crusading distance. Mm-mm.
Shit. Yo. What's good?
Cops want ways to stop. Cops want Waze users to stop snitching on DUI checkpoints. How do you feel about that?
Don't listen to them. Keep on snitching on the cops. Yo. Oops. I didn't think that was going to be that audible.
Yeah. First part of the podcast. Oh, also, our video game watch list. Our 2 fighting games. Mortal Kombat 11 and Jump Force.
Yeah, let's knock Mortal Kombat 11 out really quick. That game looks pretty fucking fun.
They might do Shaggy.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. From what I've read, it's probably not going to be a possibility. But what I like that you mentioned was
all the properties. Oh, Jump. Oh, no. First of all, they may put Shaggy in just because the properties are all owned by Warner Brother, and the actual lead artist of all of this like is teased fan art. Yeah. So they may do it as a DLC. They may not have like its own story and have it involved in the game, but they can do it. But the one that's really about to be popping is motherfucking Jump Force.
Jump Force. That game looks fucking cool.
Yes. And you know why Jump Force looks dope? It has all the shonen jumps.
Nothing but niggas playing it. For those of you that don't know, for some reason, like I keep finding out niggas love anime. At first, I thought it was only me, but like every day, finding more niggas that love anime. I don't know what happened. What happened? What? Yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of niggas playing that game, so it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be fun.
Cause I'm gonna build my own character, and it's gonna be Bleach based.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
sword fighting skills.
I'm gonna be like a black Saiyan samurai, just blowing shit up. Once I make my character, I'm gonna be Super Saiyan with a sword and that nigga, dick swinging from jungle to jungle. That's Dirt of the Jungle. I actually don't. I think he wasn't a nigga, so I'm very wrong about that. I've been seeing that. Yo, you know what's crazy? So off topic. How we're just jumping to that. The Mexican culture, it's very popping in like Asia. Thailand, they're picking up cholo.
Oh yeah, they rock the cholo.
Tokyo is becoming about their lowriders.
Lowriders is also niggas too. That's actually a black and Mexican thing.
That's true.
So I'm not gonna let them just claim that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're also something else that's happening in Asian cultures or Asian countries. Are they getting into right-hand drive or left-hand drive cars? They're starting to build cars like that. It's funny.
That'd be funny if they built. It was like, oh, I got myself a USDM 240 SX right-hand drive.
Seeing this shit, that shit's funny. Like, I want to see more pictures of lowriders in fucking Tokyo and shit like that.
Do you know it's not that expensive really to build a lowrider? It's really not.
Kind of. It gets more expensive if you're having to do a resto job.
Oh yeah.
Because you gotta remember, these were all metal bodies. So I mean, over here in California, we're pretty fortunate for not having rust. But a lot of those will have rust and shit. And then finding if you do need to repair, like especially body panels, it's hard to find that shit now.
Oh yeah, to actually have someone that can repair the car, yeah.
You actually need to end up filling that shit in and make custom parts yourself, or have someone do it. But yeah, I would imagine like they're not too expensive. Like, well, an Impala probably would be, because I'd feel like even a pretty shitty Impala would probably still go, if depending on the seller, they'll still slip for a month.
I want an '88 Monte Carlo.
I want a Grand National. I think they're.
Well, yeah. If I have a Grand National, that's not going to be a Lolo though.
I don't know. I don't know what years those were.
You can't
80s.
It's an 80s because the Monte Carlo and the Grand National are the same chassis.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, like if I have a Grand National, that's going to be like fast car. Like I want a Lolo. Like I want my car to be like Lonzo's car from fucking Training Day. I want that Lolo, the black one.
Yeah. No, I'd rather take the Grand National. Like, I'll have it look like it's a Lolo, but little would you know, like it'll have like double wishbone suspensions, fucking all the modern shit. Actually, I'll keep that engine. V8 twin turbo, yeah, fuck yeah. Probably stroke it out a little bit, fucking put gnarlier counts up the boost, put a bunch of fucking gas and airflow through it. Open up the pipes, shitting on everybody. Like I think like the Grand Nationals, I think one fucking version of them came with like almost 400 horsepower. Those shits were fucking crazy for fucking 80s cars. Those cars were.
And it was a
bad.
V6 turbo.
No, I think it was V8.
What?
I thought it was V8.
Grand National?
Yeah.
V6.
Were they?
V6 turbo.
Okay, yeah. Possibly.
But it only came in an automatic.
No.
Yep. Only an automatic. They never came in a manual, and they're very hard and rare to get. But they came in that all black, murdered out with that fucking dope little turbo emblem.
There's actually a few different versions of them. Some of them are dope. I'd be down. I'd be very down to have one though. Extremely down. So fucking down. All black. Bitch, catch me.
But I would love to have that NSX.
Oh, there's so much I'd love to have. Shit.
Oh shit! I don't know what else.
I think that's it. I don't know. Do you have anything else? Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything coming up?
We're gonna be doing, unless something happens.
Fuck, I forgot
We're gonna
about
be
that.
doing Sam Tripoli's Tinfoil Hat podcast next Monday.
Hanging out with our boy Sam Tripoli.
Sam Trip talking about some cloning.
He's my friend now.
That'll be February 11th. We'll be on the Tinfoil Hat podcast, so that'll be probably released like on a Tuesday or something.
Hanging out with our buddy Sam Trips.
Our bud Sam Trips. And well, shit.
Yeah, prayers and blessings. I don't fucking say prayers and blessings to people. Yo, stay the fuck up, you fucking blockheads.
Definitely.
Yeah, we love you. You bitches have a wonderful.
Oh, wait a minute. Of course. Shout out to some of the fans out there. You know, I kind of want to do this. You know, just people that we like on our Instagram pages.
Little fan appreciation, really quick.
Little fan appreciation.
You guys get some love.
Watching Dabs, you one of the real ones.
You cool. We like you.
Let's give it out to the Remy Mafia Resistance.
Don't know
they be
who
showing
you
us
are,
love.
But I fuck with you. Heavy. Blockhead.
We also shouting out to Big Deal Musica, some guy, PMP33.
PMP, what's good? I heard you read textbooks, you crazy son of a bitch.
And also shout out to Daylight.
Daylight, what's good? We're going to try to get at you, bro. We want to do something with you. You're a cool dude. We appreciate you.
That's true. And
you seem like you got some things that you could like share with us. Are we doing that again? We can't do that again.
Yeah, we can.
Nah.
Wait. Oh, that's the song we played last time?
Yeah, nah. Go Titty and Dollar. I like that first verse. Titty and Dollar. That's not Titty and Dollar. Titty and Dollar.
What is that?
Titty and Dollar. Go to the search and put in Titty and Dollar. There you go. Titty and Dollar. There we go. I like that song. We're doing that one.
Okay.
Peace out, you bitches. Blockheads.
I'm just one dirty motherfucker. I hurt myself way
your
more
boy
than
famous
you.
famous,
Too much
aka
out here
Unidentified
fucking
Black
up.
Male
I
is
put the
out of
codeine
here.
in my suit. Used to spit in granny face. I'm supposed to show you love. I don't need no picket line and I don't need no fucking hug. You just rapping just because. With your napkin full of drugs. Too exclusive in the back. Should we sneak 'em in the club? Who is that nigga if I ain't that nigga? It ain't that poppin' if I ain't with Robert. Gotta consider my liver, my nigga. Gotta get rid of my kidney, my nigga. That was the only thing holding me back. None of these niggas ain't telling me shit. Lately I only been bumping that yachty. All this Burberry on top of my body. I know Lil Sunday would give me that Rari. You pulling up, try to tell me the truth. I hit you back like little nigga revising. Look what I got, bitches, titty and dollar. Tell them back and just check out the power.